So, big news in college basketball this week has been that of injured Duke star Zion Williamson, who apparently was too much to handle for his Nike shoes. Bursted right through him, injured his knee. He's been out. He's out tonight against Virginia Tech. So I think this is his third game that he's missed.
Third.
So this is kind of a multi-level debate, we'll call it.
That Chinese kid who made those shoes ain't getting food that day.
You heard it here first. Bilf was in China. He's got the insider knowledge.
Shishi.
I don't think they get made in China, by the way.
Indonesia. Sorry.
I think they have shops in Vietnam.
I think they're Vietnamese, but same.
Some Asian person made them.
You're going foodless, Asian person. So
that led to the hot topic of debate. Well, we'll start with just Zion in particular. Of should he play another game at Duke? So we'll let Bill start.
I think I talked a lot this past time.
Well, it wasn't on camera, but so why don't you give us your recorded answer here? We're all at dinner tonight.
Oh, he's talking about the UFC thing.
What?
He's saying that you talked a lot for the last segment, the UFC one.
We're kind of Ben Light here. We need red potato in our lives.
Yes.
All right, Red. What you got?
So I'm gonna answer.
Holy shit! You grew that neck beard fast again.
It's not even that long.
Last week you were clean shaven. Continue.
My beard grows fast.
He pays attention in these three ways.
Yeah, apparently.
I do. Make my ass great.
But I think, wow. Now you're never going to stop saying that. Short answer, I don't think you should play again for Duke ever again.
Is that because you hate Duke, or you actually think that on a personal level?
Both.
100% both. 200% combined.
So what makes you say that? Why do you say he should never play again for Duke?
Because it's not. He's guaranteed. He's going to be the number one pick, and I don't think not playing changes him being the number one pick. So why play?
Fair.
If he doesn't play a single game, the Suns, if they get the number one pick, they're taking Zion.
Zion and Aiden.
And Booker. That's a pretty good three. It's pretty good young three.
Do you think if the Suns are not the team, do you think it...
I don't care who the number one team is. They're taking Zion. They're getting Zion. Unless Zion's probably going to have to play small forward or power forward. So unless he goes to a team that just has like studs at both positions. Like if somehow Anthony Davis ended up on the Bucks and they have like fucking Giannis and Anthony Davis, they're probably not taking Zion. But, like unless it's something like insane like that. But he's gonna go number one. And it's one of those things like if you're gonna go number one, playing only can hurt you, and that's if you get hurt.
Maybe
he'd be a power forward over a center.
I don't think he's gonna play center.
He's only 6'8".
Oh, there you go.
So he'd either be a
small.
small.
To be fair, he's 19. He may end up at like 6'10".
He could be a small. Though I see it as either a small power forward or just a abnormally large small forward, kind of like LeBron.
I would say his weight is what makes me pause about that.
I would see him as probably a smaller power forward. But he could potentially be like a KD where he ends up around 6'9", 6'10", and he's just fucking humongous.
KD will never have the weight that.
He's a big lanky guy.
Zion doesn't have the shooting though of a KD.
Right, KD's got the mid range and the long range game, where Zion's just gonna come fucking jam it down your throat.
Yeah, the other thing is that it's gonna be kind of weird for Zion because he's gonna be, while he is massive, he's gonna not be that huge for power forwards.
He's literally already heavier than any current NBA player, centers included.
True.
It might hurt him. He might find the game's a lot faster, and he needs to lose weight. That could change.
Maybe. He may lean out a little bit anyway, just because if he gets a little bigger. But regardless, I think he reminds... I think I told you one day. He reminds me a lot of a young Shaq. Just a few inches shorter.
Mm.
Shaq, when he was with the Magic, could fucking run. He could run the floor, and he was turning on you.
Yeah.
Which was unfair.
The problem is Zion probably hasn't... And I don't know. I don't watch every Duke game, but I don't know if he has like an interior post game. Because it's basically just like a 3 or a fucking dunk. Like, because he's just so dominant right now. Like, I don't know.
Like there's prime time defense playing in the NBA.
Yeah, but eventually, like, you're gonna he's not just gonna drive by like Anthony Davis and just jam on him every time. Or like if he's posted up in the paint, like is he gonna just get Barry hook shots repeatedly? Like, does he have skill posters?
I think he's got enough game in that lower interior range to create some space for himself at the very least.
Regardless of his draft prospect, he shouldn't play another game. He's going to go number 1.
So I agree with you that he will probably go 1. I think at the very least, he's guaranteed a lottery pick. Probably 1.
Top 14? Yeah, he's going top 14. Whatever the lottery number is.
So I'm saying, like he's guaranteed probably going top 3 at worst, but most likely number 1.
The only way he's not going number 1 is if they can somehow like pull like Steph Curry out and put him back in the draft, and then they draft Steph instead.
Well, I mean, he's got a teammate who's also in contention for the number 1 pick in RJ Barrett.
True, but we've seen how RJ Barrett has played without Zion, and it hasn't been very inspiring.
I told Ben, as soon as Zion got injured that UNC game, literally all the other prospective first-round picks looked like doo-doo. They couldn't do shit.
True.
But granted, they didn't.
And that
they
could
didn't
be,
prepare
that could be the shock
to play without Zion.
A little bit of the shock of him being hurt.
And I'll give you that. But not a single one of them, not Barrett, not Reddish. Who was the other guy? Bolden White. There's another freshman I can't think of right now. Trey Jones?
No, Trey Jones has been there a little while, I think.
I think he's a freshman.
He's one of their other stars, though.
Yeah.
But
not a single one of them stepped up, and I was like, if this continues, I think Zion being out doesn't do anything for him. I agree with Ben. He shouldn't play. He's going to be number 1. It looks like it hurts them, though, because they are not looking like first-round prospects, although they probably still will.
Yeah. Well, I think so. I think if you're strictly looking at it as like your future, in the NBA, what should you do? Sit. You don't play. I think that's pretty clear to everybody. I think it all kind of depends on Zion's intentions of going to Duke in the first place. Should sway his decision, because if you went to Duke to basically just hold yourself over to meet the 18, to get from 18 to 19, so you can play in the draft, you sit. You don't play at all. You have no incentive to play. If you went to Duke because while you were in college you wanted to try and at least make a run at a title, and have the pride of being an NCAA champion, you play. Your team is probably guaranteed a 1, worst case a 2 in the tournament, but it's Duke. They'll probably get a 1. They're gonna be in the East, so they're gonna get their fucking first 2 round games in like Asheville. They're gonna play in North Carolina, so they're basically guaranteed a Sweet 16 spot, if not deeper. So
why not play till then?
Well, I think then you run the risk, of getting injured, fucking up your future. So I think at the end of the day, I'd probably say, if I'm his agent or something, like, you can sit out.
You're done.
You got your free gear, you got your free shoes, which you fucking ripped.
Thanks, the agent 100% does not want him to play.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But, and basically anybody but him, and like anybody that's in his corner and is gonna have a chance at any money, does not want him to play.
Right. Well, I think it's and this is a larger scale, topic on it. I think just the mentality towards the college game has shifted a bit, especially at the bigger name programs, where there used to be a sense of pride and like desire for guys to want to go to a big name school, stay there for a few years, and like run the college game. I mean,
I think that's true for non-one and done players.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that the increase in one and dones
has increased.
There's a lot of increase in one and dones as opposed to the guys in the late '80s and early '90s who wanted to go to the Dukes, the North Carolinas, and go there and say like, yeah, I was a part of a Tar Heel championship team or one of the Duke championship teams. The guys that maybe they didn't turn out great in the pros. But a lot of them did. A lot of them went on to become all-time greats in the NBA. But they at least went to college because they wanted to do something for that collegiate team, not because they were just trying to fulfill an age requirement, for the NBA. So, yeah, I think at the end of the day, Zion should probably sit if he wants to lock down his NBA future, or at least just not jeopardize it. I think he's obviously guaranteed a great NBA future. Just is he going to potentially put it on hold a little bit longer than he should by risking injury?
Yeah, I want to know what you think. 'Cause I was talking to him about it real quick. So Scottie Pippen came out and said, Zion shouldn't play another game. I agree. And then I want to say, I don't know Zion's exact quote. Probably should look it up. But he said something like, "If I'm healthy, I'm going to play. I don't care what anybody says." Something like that. Which, if you want to play, man, go for it. I don't.
Healthy. He's going to be unhealthy for the rest of the year.
Well, so But
the same way Kawhi was unhealthy last year.
But now he's going back on that. He's sat 3 games. So do you think he's actually more injured than he's letting on, so it doesn't hurt his NBA career? Or they're agreeing to him just never playing again, which I don't know why they would. Or they're sitting him for the tournament. I personally think he's more injured than he's letting on. Because he was all, if I'm healthy, I'm going to play. I don't care what anybody says. But I'm going to sit the next 3 games
I think him saying that is what's helping his star. Because he doesn't want to not look like the team player.
Well, he is looking like a team player if he wants to play.
But you're thinking that because he said that, but he's not really playing.
Oh, okay. So he's playing like he would play, but he's not going to.
Like he's playing it in the reverse of what you think. It's not that he's injured. He's not that he's actually injured more than we think he is. It's that he wants us to think that.
But he would play. If
he would play if he's healthy, but he's not healthy. I feel like it's the play that way because you don't want to look like you're not the teammate, but he's not going to come back until he's like 110%. I mean, there's a difference between could he probably, if they were playing the national title today and he really wanted to play, he probably could play.
Right.
With what he has. To be fair, I mean, very rarely in basketball do you see like torn ACLs and stuff like that. Even at that, the ACL repair process is now like 8 months just because of all the just technological advances.
Unless you're a lonely guy from Tucson, Arizona, we know someone.
Wow. And then, but anyways.
Love you, dude.
Wow. Anyways, but a lot of times with the surgery now, your knee comes back stronger just the way with the cadaver and all the stuff that they do. So, I mean, even if he came back and played in Torres ACL, I think he still goes top 3. Because he's like a first, like, he's like a generational talent.
Once you have a knee problem, you always have a knee problem.
He has a chance to be the next, he's going to be like, if this trajectory continues, he's going to be this era's LeBron. Stardom.
I think it's a possibility.
Off the court.
I'm not going to exactly knight him that just yet. But with a torn ACL, he now has a greater chance of doing it again.
True. But as far as his draft stock goes, I don't think it really hurts. He shouldn't play. It's not something, you don't want a torn ACL on your thing. But I don't, like, if he comes back, very rarely do you see the Sean Livingston, the kid from Louisville, I forget his name, that just...
The leg thing?
Yeah. Like, very rarely do you see something like that. They're just, obviously, you wouldn't want that to happen. And there's still a risk, as small as it might be, that could happen. But I mean, it's basically up to Zion, because anybody who stands to get any money from him going pro is going to tell him no.
Right.
His parents might say, "Do what you want to do. We love you."
We also want to work again.
Yeah, I want to retire. Yeah, but if he wants to play, then it's ultimately his decision. And
I agree with that.
It's one of those things too where I think Coach K wants to win, but Coach K probably knows in the back of his mind like the best thing for him is to not play.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. Obviously, not playing is the safest option, but if you really want to win a title, the one thing I'm concerned about is if you come back. So it can go one of 2 ways. If you come back and play, and even if you don't win the national title, but you come back and play and you show that you're like still dominant, then it shows like the injury didn't really, like, there's no questions about it.
Right.
If you don't, but if you do come back and play and then you get hurt and then you don't win the title, then it's like, well, fuck. Now like injury prone, I've been hurt twice and left.
Right.
You know what I mean? So